Hi, it's Baz at GotAUkulele with another instrument review. This one I've been dying to do. Say hello to the Makala Waterman, now launched in the UK, launched at the weekend at the Ukulele Festival of Great Britain. They've been available in the States for a little bit longer, but I've been keeping this video under wraps until that launch had happened, which it now has. But I've had this for about a week. In fact, I've had three of them for about a week, and I've been playing them. Plastic ukulele. First up, a couple of bits of housekeeping. There are people who say that I hate plastic ukuleles. Not true. Just review my ukuleles honestly. Those that I played before have all had kind of flaws that have niggled me a little bit. I am not against plastic ukuleles. Point two, people who think that plastic ukuleles are an abomination that should never appear on the planet don't really know their ukulele history. The Makala Islander, promoted by Arthur Godfrey, the TV pals and the like, were made of plastic. And what's nice is that with the Makala Waterman in this rather nice box, you get this little description on the side, which is basically Carla giving a nod to Makala, a tribute, if you like, to that original plastic ukulele which people love. So full marks, Carla. They're not out there saying, "Hey, look, we've invented a plastic ukulele, aren't we clever?" They are giving the nod back to the original, and they do that not only on the box but in the style of the thing. They come in an array of colours. This has got a cream top and a funky clear plastic back. We've got solid colours, seafoam blue and a black back, and these also very popular kind of swirly patterns. Again, that's a huge nod back to the Makala's, and a plain colour on the top. They're also doing a fully clear model, totally clear fingerboard as well, which is coming out later in the year. The standard colours come in at just under £30 in the UK. The clears and the swirly colours just over £30 in the UK. So really not a lot of money at all, because it's not a hugely serious instrument, this one. And I don't think they're trying to make it a serious instrument. It's a fun instrument. It's a take anywhere instrument. So as I say, yeah, very clearly styled. If you've ever seen a Makala Islander after that style, standard soprano shape, 12 frets, all plastic. This is one piece of plastic all the way up through the neck and the back of the headstock, and then on top of that is dropped a plastic top, a plastic fingerboard, and a plastic facing piece on the headstock. I love the headstock logo. Full marks for that. The paddleboard is really kind of what this is all about. This is a take it on the water, take it on holiday kind of ukulele. We've got a standard slotted bridge, which makes for ease of string changing. This rather strange strengthening ring, I suppose you'd call it, around the sound hole. I read online someone say that these were absolutely identical to the Woody ukuleles that I've reviewed. No, they're not. That's the only similarity. Everything else is completely different. The neck profile, the lot is different to the Woody, so ignore that. Having a look inside, you can see how the top is braced on this clear model. So you've got a fan bracing arrangement there, no back bracing, but it is plastic. It's, I could knock this down the stairs and I'm sure it would be fine. We've got a plastic fingerboard with moulded frets which are painted silver, and a 0 fret up here which will give you accurate intonation and action at the nut. It is actually a little bit high for my liking, and that would be a pain to take down, because taking down the nut slots is not going to take down the action at the nut because of that 0 fret, but it's perfectly playable. Yeah, I mean, one thing I'd also say on this one that I've not played so much, you can see you've got side fret markers and side fret markers on the other side as well, which is a brilliant touch because it means you can play it left-handed or right-handed and you still get the fret markers. The downside to those fret markers is that they rubbed off after about 10 minutes of playing this one, so they kind of become completely pointless, and that's a shame. Some people I've seen online have said, well, the fret silver paint wears off. And I saw some people say that after a couple of days it had all worn off. Now, I've been playing this pretty constantly for a week. It is starting to go, but nowhere near as quick as other people had suggested. But it is starting to go, and it's only right that I say that. Does that bother me? Do you know what? I wouldn't have put the paint on at all. I know they've done that as a nod back to the Macaferries that did. But, you know, if it's going to rub off, it doesn't bother me if it's not there. The Flea, which is kind of the ultimate plastic fingerboard ukulele out there, doesn't have paint on the frets. They are black plastic. So it doesn't bother me. If this was mine, I'd probably get a bit of steel wool on it and take them all off, because it's going to look messy as they start to wear down. Fairly standard crowned headstock shape with open gear tuners, the sort of thing you'll see on a Makala Dolphin. They work perfectly fine. And the whole thing is completed with Aquila Super Nalga, the pearly coloured ones, and a rather funky cloth bag with the Makala Waterman logo. It feels like it's thin, but it's actually lined with sort of a silk lining, which makes dropping the instrument in and out of it an absolute breeze, and a drawstring top. Yeah, I quite like that. Not much else to say, really. We've got a Carla logo embossed in the back here in the neck. You probably can't see that on the camera, but you can see the neck bracing there. All in all, I think it looks great. I think as a nod back to what it's trying to be, I think they've got it spot on. Construction issues, not really any. As I say, the fret paint doesn't bother me. One thing I did note when it arrived, if you look, is the bridge is dipping there on the top. And it's dipping on all three before I even, as I took them out of the box. Carla advised that that's a feature of plastic, and I must say it's not affecting the intonation or the playability, or is it getting any worse? And actually, here's my Kerala Explore. That's doing exactly the same thing, and that doesn't affect it either. So I think, if that's perceived to be a problem with them, I'm not convinced it is. It seems pretty robust to me. It's plastic. It's not a high-end Hawaiian koa ukulele. It's 30 quid plastic ukulele. It's designed to be thrown about and play. It's a bit of fun. Play it out in the rain, take it trekking. Sound-wise, like a plastic ukulele, but actually quite pleasant. It's got quite a punch to it, I think. It's quite nice. Let's compare it to the Kerala. I think the Kerala is slightly lower in volume. This is brighter. Now, if you like your punchy, bright sound, this is the one for me. If you want it mellower, the Kerala is probably the one. The Kerala does have the bendier neck than this one, but looks-wise, I'll take this. I like the all black of the Kerala, but this is something else. And I like all the colours of these. I think these are really fun. Don't like it as much for finger picking, but I don't like finger picking on Sopranos that much. It's, What do I like? Well, I like the fact that Makala have made no bones about the fact that this is a tribute back to the original plastics. It's very similar to them. I'm sure the experts in the Macaferries, and people get quite evangelical about that, will say that they sound nothing like each other. But you've got to buy one of those used. You don't know what you're getting. You don't know whether it needs a repair. These are new. They're 30 quid. I mean, it's just, what's not to like? As plastic ukuleles go, it's not perfect. I've never played a plastic ukulele that is perfect, but out of all of the ones I've played, I'm certainly I'm drawn to this one more. This is one that I think, my Kerala is covered in dust because it's been on a shelf and I rarely pick it up. I've been playing it every single day, and it lives on the sofa, and I just love picking it up. I think it looks fun. It's nice to play. It's not a high-end instrument. It's not trying to be a high-end instrument, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I think the looks are superb. I think the price is right. And if you don't like plastic ukuleles, well, I'm never going to change your opinion of that. You either do or you don't. I'm not against them. I kind of get against people who claim that they are a viable alternative to a good quality solid wooden instrument. They're not. But then I wouldn't take a good quality wooden instrument camping. Makala, Waterman, available now in the UK from all good Makala dealers.